Well, the weekend is fast upon us here, and will you need sunscreen or an umbrella? Maybe both, actually, which is good. We need some rain. It's not going to be a deluge for anybody, though. Certainly no washout, but there will be some showers around. We'll talk more about that. But we did barely hit 90 yesterday. This is showing temperatures in between hours yesterday. It was a brief moment that we reached 90 degrees, and we had some humidity actually too yesterday. So we are now tied with the third most 90s ever in the month of June at 12, a full dozen. Keep in mind, 12 is about our average for the whole summer, and we've already gotten that out of the way. We're also going to see the second hottest June. It's pretty much guaranteed on record because we're easily a couple degrees ahead of the previous #2 spot, but just shy of that #1 spot. So the heat we had the last couple of days was a piece of heat kind of wafting from the southwest. Think of the west basically on fire, which it kind of is, and just occasionally a flame reaching Minnesota. That's what's been happening lately after the heat wave. But the one difference, we actually had some humidity yesterday. Dew points were in the low 70s for half of the day. That is not something we've seen much of this June, oddly. Normally we think of hot and humid, but not been the case much this June. Now we're going to be in the upper 80s yet today, probably shy of that 90, but the real heat is bottled up to the west. So this is the same heat bubble. It's just been moving around this month of June, everybody getting a turn, but 109 degrees forecast in Portland, Oregon. That would break their all-time record, and of course that's earlier than it would normally happen in July or August, and that's actually hotter than it's ever been in Houston, Texas, to just give you that perspective. So the heat on the West Coast for the weekend, but some indications, all the models have flirted with this idea, the European model, the current one doing this, pushing the heat back in our direction here by the 4th of July. So as I mentioned, kind of a flame of the heat wave moving our direction. So here's the European model, has us in the 90s here for the 4th of July weekend, but just to show you that this is no guarantee, Canadian model, American models are much cooler in the 70s and 80s. So we'll see what happens, but as I mentioned, all the models have been flirting with that notion of bringing back in some heat for the 4th of July. The other big news, the drought expands across Minnesota. Now 3/4 of Minnesota is considered to be in drought. That is a 1/3 increase from a week ago. And also notice in orange, darker orange, the amount of severe drought that has expanded, about 1/6 of the state. And this is showing rainfall deficits for the last 30 days. And you can see in red here, that's where we're getting over 3 inches behind. That's a lot of water in the month of June to be behind. So generally anywhere from 2 to 3 inches for most of the state is what we would need to make up our deficits. So we are looking at some rain, as I mentioned. A lot of it's going to be the west and south yet over the next 24 hours. But by tomorrow afternoon, indications that we could see some pop-up showers and storms over the metro with enough instability. It looks like the bulk of the rain is going to be across southeastern Minnesota, but the models differ on how much of that it can push farther west. The European model not buying it, but the other models do bring in some rain. And then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday afternoons, a similar scenario where there'll be some spotty showers, but more numerous ones with daytime heating in the late afternoon. So you're looking at about the 3-4 p.m. time frames here Sunday, and then this is also Monday, some pop-up showers and storms. But these are not storms that will last for long. They're not going to give you a lot of rain, but something. So hopefully over the course of the next several days, most of us get wet, but it is going to be really throwing a dart at the dartboard. But there at least are some darts in the bucket, whereas we haven't had that much of June. 88 today, low 80s for the week, a little cooler because we are going to have more clouds around. And again, perhaps some late day thunderstorms tomorrow. We'll see if that rain can really make its way further to the west and northwest like some of the models are forecasting. And then it will be more spotty, hit and miss Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I think Wednesday will be mainly dry. And temperatures close to actually normal for a change for our last few days of June before perhaps warming up as we head into the holiday weekend.